students, I'm here again, Professor Muhammad Shafiq Baloch from Emerson College. Today my topic is to inform you about the techniques for Precis writing. Yeah, now there are three major things. What is Precis? Why is Precis needed in a paper? And how can you get mastery over the art of Precis? Yeah, so Precis means skimming, the essence, the gist, the summary of the passage given to you. And it is also the mini version of the original passage. You are going to reproduce the major points in your own wording, in your own English. Now, why Precis? So, there are two things which are tested in your Precis writing question. Mastery over English, your mastery over English. The next thing is your ability to reproduce the main ideas in a precise way. So Precis writing is the art which can be learned through practice. The very first thing about Precis, now we come to how. The very first thing in Precis is that your Precis should have 1/3 of the original passage. Suppose there are 99 words in the original passage. In your Precis there should be 33 words, and keep it in mind that you are not going to give the mathematical question, just mathematical numbering, that there should be just 33 words, there may be 34 words or 35 words or 29 or 30 words. The next thing is that there should be no example. You should not write, for example, for instance, like or as. In the best Precis there should be no example. Sequence. The sequence of your Precis should be according to the sequence of the passage. Suppose if there is 1, 2, 3, in your Precis there should also be 1, 2, 3, not 3, 2, 1 or 2, 3, 1. From beginning to the end, the same sequence should be followed. Tense. In your Precis, the tense of the passage should be followed in your Precis. If the passage is in past indefinite tense or past tense, in your Precis, there should also be past tense. In third person, Precis should be in third person. Sometimes the writer writes, I went there, so you can't write that I went there, but the author went there. Next thing is that in indirect narration, your Precis should be in indirect narration. You shouldn't use question mark, inverted commas. Suppose he said to the stranger, oh, why is the woman weeping? There should be indirect narration. He asked the stranger the cause of the weeping of woman. No ambiguity. In your Precis, there should be no ambiguity. Everything should be clear. If there is some ambiguity in the sentence, you should not write that sentence. Verb. I often say that verb is the soul of the sentence. Be choosy in the selection of verb. So be careful that you are using some new verb there. Same ideas but in your own wording. In Precis, the same ideas should be reproduced, but they should be in your own wording. You should not take the words from the original passage. However, you can take the proper names or abbreviations. You can take from other terms from the passage. So it is also called the game of synonyms. I call that Precis is the game of synonyms. So change one word for another word having the same meaning. Suppose if it is written courageous in the original passage, you can write bold there. Or if it is written enamorated, you can change it, rephrase it with enlisted. Changing the parts of speech. You can also change the part of the speech of a word in the original passage in your Precis. Suppose if it is written that he invaded is written there, you can use invasion from verb to noun or noun to verb, you can move. Then the use of passive voice. So you can also use one or two sentences in passive voice. Suppose the police arrested the thief, it can be written the thief was arrested. So there are the three phases in Precis. Phase 1, in phase 1 you should read the original passage over and again. In the phase 2 you should know the important ideas should be underlined. In third phase you can reproduce the main ideas in your own wording, whether to draft or not to draft. So in your Precis, so you can write first draft of the Precis, and you can also write it in the original passage. Avoid rewriting the sentences of the passage. There is no need to write the sentences or the words, but the same ideas should be written there. No repetition of the words, no repetition of the ideas there. The next thing is that use of joining words. In your Precis, you can use connectors. On the contrary, despite, in spite of, but. So connectors also give some wholeness to your ideas. Count of words. In your Precis, you should also, after writing your Precis, you can write that the words in the original passage. Suppose there are 150 words in the original passage, and in Precis there are 50 words. So the count of words should also be given there. The first sentence and the last sentence of the passage are very important one. So change them and change their grammatical structure and rewrite them in your own words. No mistakes of spellings. There should be, you should be careful. There should be no mistake of spellings or no mistakes of grammar. Next is that Precis. That Precis should be in one passage. If there are two passages for Precis, you should write your Precis in one passage. There should be no cutting, no overwriting. And the next thing is that you can get mastery over English vocabulary. Suppose if it is written that my uncle hates human beings, my uncle is a misanthrope. You can read the essays of Russell, Chomsky, Ruskin, Huxley. So these can also help you to learn the art of Precis, and you can also make a Precis of the editorials of some newspaper. The same advice is that so you should write the Precis in your own words, and it is this question, Precis question, where the examiner knows your true ability, and sometimes they read the passage, your Precis, and they can know about your writing power. Practice, practice, and practice. Practice makes all human beings perfect. So you should daily practice Precis writing. Thanks a lot. I'm again here. I'm Mohammed Shafiq, and inshallah I will meet you again by the grace of God while telling you the art of writing the title of the Precis. Thanks a lot.